Good morning. Today's video is called Suicide, Questions, Survival. The first question goes out to the palsy philosopher, me. Have you ever felt out of place, like you don't belong? The answer is, yes, I have all my life. Having cerebral palsy and being gay all my life, I just kept it to myself for many years since I was a child. Question number 2. Have you ever known loss? Yes, I've known a lot of loss. The first loss I knew was when I was 2 years old. My mother passed away, and she traveled clear around the world to pray for me before she died. I don't remember that loss, but I'm sure it affected me my whole life after that. So you believe in God is the next question. Yes and no. Please explain, the questionnaire person asked. God exists if people choose to believe in him. If you don't choose to believe in him, then he does not exist. That's simple. So the person wants to know, so you're saying faith is based on imagination? No, I'm not saying faith is based on imagination. Faith is not proven by science, but imagination, and maybe God was created by man, by his imagination. If one is willing to have an open mind, they must look at all possibilities. If God was created by our imagination, does it really matter? Well, see, God gives many people hope. Without hope, many people have nothing. So, question number 3 says, are you saying that atheists are wrong? No. Please don't put words into my mouth. Atheists are right in their perception of the world, and if that's what they truly believe, then it is true. Do me a favor. Close your eyes and imagine nothingness when you die. I will give you a few seconds to do this. Your mind started to wonder, didn't it? How can we imagine nothingness and really understand it? We can't. If we know soul, if we have no soul, does our existence really matter at all? Did my parents matter? Did my brothers and sisters matter? Did my 4 surgeries and 2 broken bones from the ages of 7 to 9 years old matter? And then when I turned 10, I had a compound fracture in my arm before I moved to Wisconsin. Did any of this really matter? If there's nothing greater than myself, why put myself through this as a child? And if there's no such thing as soul, if I was just screwed by nature, why would I want to keep living? I am not into pain and suffering just for the fun of it. But everybody has the right to their opinion and beliefs, especially when it comes to faith and religion. The next question, a person wants to know, how do I feel about suicide? Well, the palsy philosopher feels that since all 3 of my parents died of cancer, and my brother Mark died of Alzheimer's, and other loved ones that I knew and loved, they also died of other illnesses. And they fought to the end. Life is a gift. And many of my friends died of muscular dystrophy by the age of 13. They wanted to live and fought like hell. I don't know why they had to die so young, but they did. Should I be pissed off at God? I don't know it all, and I can't understand it all. Maybe they were chosen for a reason to live their lives the way they did. And maybe they helped influence people to better their lives. Best to put a positive spin on it. I can choose to be angry and pissed in this life, but that does not help me in the long run. I chose to remember how these people had died and how they taught me to not to take my life for granted. Do I believe in heaven and hell? A reader wants to know. When I was 22 years old, I moved to Fresno, California. And I love my family and friends in Wisconsin, but the weather was too painful for me, so I had to move. I was lonely and missed my family and musician friends and whatnot that I grew up with. When I moved to Fresno, I felt like I did not belong even more. In the dorms, they confused me with another guy with cerebral palsy from Wisconsin. So I smoked weed to fit in, but that made me feel more lonely. I felt so alone like I could die. And I just went in my room after smoking some weed, and I went to sleep and I saw myself looking down at myself. Was it a dream? Was it influenced by the pot? I felt like I was communicating with God. I went through a bright light, and then I became very afraid. But then I went into total darkness. I let myself go. I had no pain and felt peace that I have never known before. And it's really hard for me to put into words. I felt like I could stay there, but I wanted to come back and show that being disabled is not that big of a deal. That experience changed my life forever. Another question people are asking, palsy philosopher, do you do your videos for fame and fortune? Sometimes I think it would be nice, I won't deny it. I am delayed in certain areas, but because of my cerebral palsy, no matter how hard I try, there are intellectual or cognitive skills I can't master. But most people can. But then there are other things that come too easily, and I get bored. And I've always liked being around the company of older people. There's only a few people in my age group at times that I felt comfortable or have understood me. I love heart and soul. I've been hurt by a lot of people who believed in me in time they started to ignore me. Once I called upon a radio DJ, his name was Alan Tatarian. He had a great soulful sounding voice. He played jazz and jazz fusion. He was a really great guy, um, and I wanted to meet him. But then one day I found out that I was wondering why he wasn't on the air, and he had died. I'm still touched by radio and TV announcers today. At times I feel they have like a heart and soul, and that frustrates me because at times I feel like how a blind man must feel to be able to hear people through radio or TV and not be able to visualize what they see, what they look like. I think, well, they would be an interesting person to know. I realize it's a job that they're doing, but just by the sound of their voice, they sound like they have a heart and soul. Number one reason why I put myself out there is so others like me do not feel so alienated and that they do not commit suicide. Number two reason why I make videos is because, yeah, I would like respect. I would like not to be ignored. And I would like people also like me not to feel ignored or respected and feel alone in this society. Back to the question, I try not to think too much about the concept of heaven or hell. Jesus Christ's message was about love. Jesus Christ's message was about love. Death will take care of itself, and when it comes, it comes. I'm not going to worry about the afterlife because it is an illusion or a dream until it happens. I must wrap this up because I have other things to do. Peace and love. Have a good day, and let's hope that people can choose love over guns, and that we start to love and respect one another and believe in one another a little bit more each day. Thank you. Bye for now, and thanks for asking the questions.